So I see behind you there's like a Sustainable India logo. So I believe you're the co-founder of it. So could you like talk more about that? What do you do in it? What's the organization for?
So, Sustainable India is an initiative of Sri Aurobindo Foundation. It is a socio-spiritual organization working on research and innovation, exclusively in the field of sustainability. Now, when we think about sustainability as a whole, um, there is always a thought about, plantation. There is always a thought about saving the planet and all the different kind of things. But also sustainability is about gender equality. Sustainability is also about um, having equal rights and opportunities, access to good health and well-being, and a lot of different things like all the 17 UNDP goals suggest in a gist. So, Sustainable India started with the concept of conscious transformation, because unless a citizen or an individual is ready to, transform and to understand that we are not here as consumers, but we are here as, like for example, if we are taking rent or staying on rent, we have to take care of the house because it does not belong to us. So we can't paint on the walls or we can't sketch on the walls because it does not belong to us. But yes, we are living there, we are respecting that place. So it is really important to be as a person who is serving the planet. So there is a difference between considering ourselves as the owner and pointing ourselves as a person who is serving here. So sustainability is a shift, a transformation from ego, where we are thinking that we are the owners, to actually having gratitude to the place or to the land, to the earth as a whole. And Sustainable India is working on the UNDP goals, and we are collaborating with sustainable startups and companies that are impacting particular goals. For example, when we think about sustainable mensuration, so we are connected with a organization which is working on sustainable mensuration, helping the rural women to empower themselves by stitching sanitary napkin, and the napkin that they are stitching is actually GOTS certified, which is organic cotton certified. And the button they are using is made of nickel free button. So what they are doing is they're empowering the rural women to involve themselves in stitching and having a lifestyle, having a good quality of life. And then secondly, they are selling the sanitary napkin and making sustainable sanitary napkin accessible to all. So they're impacting two goals, which is gender equality. Uh, uh, then second would be life on land, and third would be the conscious consumption and production. So all these three goals they are targeting. Now what we are doing with these companies and with these startups are we are creating course series and lecture series and content, because they are expertise in these particular fields. For example, if I am a person who is working on because Tetra Pak has three layer, and recycling of the three layer is very difficult and consumes a lot of energy. So what we are doing is, if we are upcycling the Tetra Pak and we are using and compressing it as and using it as a material for roofing, and it expands the lifespan by 50 years of that house, so that alternative can be used. So what Sustainable India is doing is making all these research based, all these solutions accessible to the people who are in need of these solutions. For example, if you are an institution located in Malaysia, and you need a certain kind of solution in context to Tetra Pak, or you want to do certain sustainable research at your campus, so Sustainable India will be giving you support through their Go Circular catalog, and give you the all the different organizations, what they are doing in these goals and what can be done, what is feasible for you. Now you choose that, okay, sustainable India, this is what I want to do at my campus. I want to use single use plastic and convert it into floor tiles, and this is what I want to do. So sustainable India will help you connect with those experts, will help you develop business, will help you, you know, have a common ground and work on those projects as a research collaboration. So this is one thing that we are doing. Second is, the reason why I shared about conscious transformation is because uh, unless we are ready enough to understand that what quality of life is, we won't be able to strive to do the best for ourselves and for the society as a whole. So that is the reason why we have shared the conscious transformation word, because sustainability is not a luxury term that can be only accessible to the people who can pronounce sustainability or who can read the word sustainability. Sustainability is something that is a part of life, and we want to make it simple. That's it. We want to make it accessible. We want to make it something that is very normal and can be discussed by everyone. When we think about sustainability is a evolved term, and sustainable fashion, sustainable textile, sustainable interior, there are a lot of different things that are coming up, and only people who have that understanding or that idea are able to buy those things. So but when you see at rural places, they're already sustainable, their houses are sustainable, uh, they consume less plastics. The irony is the consumption of the plastic is more in the urban places where, you know, the minute in delivery are is easy, access to items is easy, options are plenty. So only these people are having and the rural people are growing their own food. They are having, even now they usually, you know, if something is growing in my farm and something is growing in your farm which is different, I might be growing pumpkin and you might be growing say lady fingers, so we'll exchange those things, because and that would be something that is you know, exchange of value. So that is how rural people are still sustainable. uh, the irony why I said is that companies are, you know, introducing policies, companies are introducing thoughts, but the people who are working in the company are thinking sustainability just as carbon footprint monitoring, just as what are the number of female employees working at their office. Are they coming back to their homes and thinking, am I sustainable in my approach around my house? Am I consuming in the right way? Am I going out and taking out things that might not be in my need, but something that is fascinating to me? So conscious consumption is something that is really important. So sustainable India is working on two parameters. One is awareness, where we are creating awareness through our content on social media, through our connections with the higher education institutions. We are working in India with IITs, Indian Institute of Technologies, because they are excel in research and innovation. So this is one thing. Second is we are having our international and national conferences that allows researchers from across the globe to participate and share what they are doing in the field of sustainability. That is really important to upskill ourselves. You might be staying in Singapore, and when you visit Malaysia or you visit India, you visit Delhi, and you are sharing your work. So the person who is sitting there and is saying that, oh, I didn't knew that these are the things that is going on across. So this is how the knowledge and awareness is transferred. So awareness is really important to take action. So Sustainable India is targeting awareness through international conferences, through creating content. And the most important thing is that we have our own subscription based magazine. And this magazine is exclusive because we only feature sustainable entrepreneurs, researchers, seekers, and practitioners. Now, last month, we have featured founder of Bare Necessities, who is Sahar Mansoor. And the reason why we share about their journey is because how they are actually creating not just green opportunity, green job opportunities for the students and the people around them, but they are producing products that are eco-friendly, that are having and practicing sustainable supply chain, and they are actually having a good quality and affordable products. The term bare necessity is meant by the thing called minimum, and what is a bare minimum that a person really needs in their lifespan. So the reason why we started this magazine was we wanted to feature all these entrepreneurs and their stories, and why they actually, left their conventional jobs to do something that is very different, and to think about the nature as a whole. So this is a part of awareness, and through action we are doing active research collaboration. We are filing for grants. We are having research impact collaboration analysis and case study models. So all these things we are doing in action part. So these are the two awareness and action things that we are doing with sustainability.
Yeah, it seems like they're really, really strong initiatives that you have pulled out of it. And like you mentioned in your magazine, you asked them why have they left their conventional jobs and go into protecting nature. And I wanted to ask you the same thing. Like, why did you leave the conventional approach of, becoming a biotech scientist and start Sustainable India?
Uh, so there was this thing. Uh, there's this concept called out of the box, right? Whenever we are just having a little confusion, our professors would say that think out of the box, or anyone who is our mentor would say that why don't you try thinking out of the box. But growing up, I just realized one thing, that there's nothing called out of the box. It is just a notion that society or our schooling pattern or our environment has put into our mind that okay, becoming a doctor, doing or becoming a dentist, becoming a physician, becoming a surgeon, becoming an engineer are these really acceptable things. But if you are becoming an artist, or if you are becoming something that is different, what most population is not doing, is a non-conventional thing. There is nothing as out of the box or in box. The box is actually something that we have created in our minds on our own, and there is this notion that maybe if I am doing something that is not very acceptable or not very common, I might not be accepted very easily, or might not be able to survive or make good enough things to survive or have that lifestyle or have that good esteem. So I would say that the notion or these thoughts come only when we are opening ourselves to the society's thoughts and values, that okay, this is how the life should be, and this is how our life should be arranged in these manner. There is nothing as I'm doing something different. I'm doing what was meant to be done, and as an instrument I'm doing, because there is often this thing called grace, which is a higher power, and which actually helps you, allows you. Maybe right now you are doing this podcast. Before 5 years, you wouldn't have even thought that you'll be doing this podcast. There was something that actually gave you this calling that I want to do this. I want to try how it works, and that is something that was your inner voice, which didn't get affected by what outer people or what your friends might be doing at this hour. Your friends might be chilling or having their time, watching games, or taking their time off, or taking some rest. But you are doing this sitting right here because you had that calling within yourself. So I believe that there is always a call for every individual, and certainly life is a little, I won't say strugglesome, but different. And when we say different, different comes with lot of hurdles, different comes with lot of adventures, different comes with a lot of feedback. I won't say failure, but feedback, because it keeps you check on why you started up with this internship, entrepreneurship at the first point. Because I might be working at an MNC and making good money at this point of time, but still, uh, I believe that there is this calling, and this calling is more powerful than anything else that keeps you going. uh, there's this kick which you will feel when you get up from the bed, because you'll have this purpose which is much greater than everything else. So that was the thing that has happened with me. But again, I would say that my parents both are researchers. My parents both started with this research initiative, which is Shri Aurobindo Foundation, and I would be really grateful to be a part of it always. And I have been really grateful because my parents, again, they left their mainstream things to do this. So I'm just a part of this journey, and with this, there is always a conscious transformation that is going within ourselves, because then you won't be having uh, that evolution that is happening, because you will be always questioning that what can I do to do better, what can I do to bring change. And the change does not really mean a bigger aspect of it, but how I can be a part of a change. How can be I make myself purpose? How can I make my life purpose driven? So that is a thing that always instills within each one of us. And sometimes people might have responsibilities at home to serve, and to be capable enough to support. So I would say that I was really grateful to maybe explore and experience and work in this domain and to experiment. So life is all about experimenting, and I'm open to it. So that is something that actually helped me to work with Sustainable India.
So it's inner calling and experimenting with life, which is the
Yeah, right. Right. And plus also on a bigger aspect, I really wanted, because I didn't want my, in India we say engineering. I didn't want my these degrees to feel that I'm really restricted to certain field. I wanted to be open. When we think about sustainability, sustainability comes in a lot of different dimensions. It comes in architecture, it comes in designing, it comes in engineering, it comes in even it comes in hospital, of how a hospital is achieving sustainability. So I wanted to be a part of it as a whole, and this is sustainability is something that really inspires me to do.
um, coffee or
Okay.
tea?
Tea, but herbal tea. I don't drink coffee.
Favorite book, podcast, TV show?
Favorite book will be one that is from Mother, Integral Healing. Mother is the founder of Aurobindo, and that would be lovely to go through. And second favorite book would be You Can Heal Your Life by Louis Hay.
Yeah, I've heard of the second one. What's your go-to productivity hack?
And also, yeah, I missed. So for my favorite show, I kind of like Friends, and I keep on watching it. It's like a comfort zone for me. And yeah, there was one series that I have seen and would really recommend would be I just don't remember, Less is More or Minimalist, something like that. It was on Netflix, and then there was another thing which was Blue Zone. So all these three.
Great, yeah. What is your go-to productivity hack?
Go to productivity hack would be writing down the task the night before or in the morning, and then analyzing what is the most important and how to make it, prioritize it and get it done earlier. That is it.
If you weren't in the STEM field, which field do you think you would have chosen?
I think STEM is something that has chosen me, so I won't be saying that I would be able to choose anything. But yes, if I have got this opportunity, I would love to be a part of STEM only, because it is something that gives me a kick of seeing how life works, how engineering is, how different aspects of biotechnology and engineering works, and how our body works as a whole.
Yeah. What is one piece of advice you wished you had received when you were starting your career?
Uh, One thing is uh, not to take things seriously, whatever we are doing, and keep always having humor in life. It is something that is really beautiful. And the third really important thing that my father said is always with me, that is, if you are good, everyone around you is good, and good things happen to you.
Yeah. That ends the rapid fire round. And now I just want to talk more about, the whole women in STEM aspect, really about it. So, what gender trends do you see in your field today? Do you think there's still like a very prevalent gender gap in STEM fields, in biotech especially, maybe?
uh, I won't say biotech, because biotech is something that is an emerging field and has a lot of acceptance. It is growing massively, and luckily, I had professors who were female and they were really empowered. So they were the examples for me as a mentor. And I haven't seen that. But when we speak about entrepreneurship, yes, there are certain setbacks that women experience over the journey, even though this generation and century is completely different. But yes, there are often times when, I might be speaking about something, but the person is not ready to perceive that answer, because me being a female plus young, they feel that I might not have that authority to answer the questions, or might not have that strength to understand what is the situation or the solution that they need. So this is something that is going in every field. But yes, I want that empowerment should start from not just not just men, but also women accepting that every gender is equal.
Damn. So, I do you think like what would obviously maybe not biotech, but in other fields of STEM, there's already that very like prevalent gender gap. So what do you think would be some improvements or changes that could happen that leads to gender diversity? I know you mentioned that men and women should treat all genders equal. Like maybe like share a bit more about that thought process.
I believe that there is this notion attached with women, how women can manage all these things. And even if you see a data scientist or a software engineer, and you have to find a bug in a software, or you have to make a test run, there are a lot of aspects. You have to be very conscious, and you have to check every code very. Since you are into that field, you'll be able to understand that coding and checking, and keep on testing and test bugging. Even for biotechnology, you have to be there, because you have to be active in the lab. You can't be using computer and sitting at a place. You have to be there at a lab and make your research work done, until and unless you are having, because there are false positive, false negative, and a lot of different aspects. I believe that one thing an individual can do is you know uh, uh, understanding that when we all are equal, not just as an aspect of intellect, but as an aspect of understanding that we are coming from different background. We might be having a different degree, we might be having a different masters, but every human is equal in that terms, when we are able to segregate ourselves from our roots, and we are able to understand that every individual deserves equal right and opportunity to grow. And we are not the one who are giving any opportunity or any authority to anyone, and there is no one who is actually putting us in certain positions. It is our work, it is our wisdom, and it is our knowledge that has to be evolved, that has to be checked, that has to be um, appreciated, not the gender thing.
Yeah.
Because when we specify that okay, she's a woman and she has done this, or the first man to do this, we are actually talking about the gender again. We should be actually appreciating their wisdom, we should be appreciating their knowledge, their effort as an individual with their challenges at the back.
Yeah, that's a strong point. Very quickly, my last question would be, can you list down three qualities or skills that you thought were crucial to getting success in the field that you are? Just three.
So I think when we think about success, now success can be something that is considered in two way. One is material and something that is internal. If you are talking about both the successes as a long term, there is something that I have always learned from my mentors, that to be, like I said, to be a really good person, because at end of the day, it does not really matter how much you have made or how much impact you are creating in context to finances, but it is really important to how you have treated a person who is working with you and who is working towards your dream, what you have planned as an entrepreneur. So I believe that to be a good person, to be grounded, and to understand and to realize that everyone has their own struggles and they're coming up with their uh, different baggage. To support every individual is something that an entrepreneur should always have in their mind. Second is really important, I believe, like I shared. So I was having a strange kind of time in my path in my life, and there is this person who is really close to me, who is like my mentor, who is my guru. He's the age of my grandfather. He's a doctor at AIMS, and he just shared that don't take life so seriously. And that was the time when I realized that I need not to, think that, oh, why this is going in this direction? Why am I not able to do these? Why am I not able to do this? I have so much limited time. I'm going to turn 26 next year. What am I going to do if I'm not able to achieve these things? Uh, it is really important because actually, uh, most of the time everyone is involved with themselves, so it is really important to not to take life so seriously. And third really important thing that again I shared previously back with you about, if you are good, everyone around you is good. And fourth is to keep the humor alive always. So to have humor, whatever the life circumstance is, that keeps us light, that keeps us running on track. And whatever it is, everything is not permanent. So that is something that we need to remind ourselves that uh, maybe if I'm building a clothing brand, this brand might not be permanent or might be permanent. So let's just not take everything so seriously and work what is according to the time and that might be required.
Wow, I think that's a very good high note to end the podcast on. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your insights, and like motivating me really. It was truly inspiring to talk to you today, and I had a fun time. I like learned so many new things that I wouldn't have known otherwise.
No,
This,
thank you so much. Actually, this also gave me an opportunity to go back and think about the researches that, because we are so involved in what is going to be done next, that we often tend to uh, forget or might not have that thought that, oh, this was the research and this was the thought that came into my mind when we started up this research. So I'm really grateful that, with this particular session, with this discussion, I was able to get into all these things. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you so much for your time. But with this, we have come to an end of our podcast. This is the Femstem podcast where inspiration and knowledge collides to propel us forward towards limitless possibilities. Stay tuned for the next one.